Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Am I audible to you? Kindly put Y in the comment box if I am clearly audible to you. I will just what I'll do is chat. Yeah, chat is open for you now. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pranav, Aditya, Rutuja, Atharva, Abhishek, Mukund. Thank you very much, guys, for this wonderful enthusiasm. This should be there actually because we have the best speaker, you can say, uh, with us today. So I will like to just give a brief intro about our speaker, that is Niranjan sir. So you would have not met Niranjan sir, but Niranjan sir is the best speaker amongst everyone, and you will get to know about him when you will hear his introduction, and you will love him when you will hear his lecture. Yeah. So let's start. I will just share my screen. So we have with us Niranjan sir, and if I'm not audible, kindly tell me immediately. Yeah. So Niranjan sir, basically education is Niranjan sir is postgraduate ME in computer science from IISc Bangalore. He has completed his bachelor of engineering, and having stood first in all 4 years. About the career, I'm not audible. Okay. There is no test today. Kindly don't. Yeah, we have put it that on. Inform you on the group. Yeah. So about the career, Niranjan sir is currently working as an architect in Nutanix, a product-based company, software company, headquartered in California, USA. Second, previous to that, sir was distinguished engineer at Veritas Technology, a US-based product company. Distinguished engineer is a prestigious title conferred by software companies for outstanding contribution to products and technology. During his 21 years of illustrious career, Sir has contributed in the areas of product delivery, architecture, and innovation. In addition, he proposed and helped develop new products. Niranjan sir holds more than 50 US patents on his name and several publications. Patent means new inventions which were not there in the world. So, like that, 50 sir has invented. So, sir has received Zenov Technical Role Model Award that recognizes technology stalwarts in software industry in India. In addition, he receives numerous awards related to product development and innovation. Sir has also delivered presentation in several industries and customer forums. Outside the work, Niranjan sir takes active interest in spirituality. Sir has presented several seminars on critical relevant topics for corporates and technical institutes and also students like you. Sir is also an active practitioner of principles of spirituality in corporate and daily life. So this is the email. So we would like to invite Niranjan sir with a big Zoom applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks to organizers for having me, and welcome to all of you students. Right, I'm thrilled to be amongst you. So happy to be amongst you. So much of energy you all have. So I hope that I can serve you through this session. Before we begin, I would like to request you to type on a chat box if you are able to hear me clearly, and whether you are able to even see the screen that I have shared, my display you can see. So please type on a chat box just so that I know. And we are going to use this chat box for our conversation while I speak. Okay, and whatever questions you have, you can put on the chat box as well. I'm going to answer them at the end of the session today. Okay, so the whole idea is to make this session very interactive. So I'm hoping that you will, if you are attentive in this session, you will gain a lot through this session. So welcome again to this session and thank you for your time. So what we are going to talk about today is a game of life. Okay, I'm sure you would like to see your life as enjoyable as a game. Isn't that true? And in this game of life, right, everyone is looking for what? What is everyone searching for? So you can see that everyone is, some of the things that you may be looking for are like good college, good career. You're already in a good college, I would say. Good career, good salary, good car, beautiful partner, maybe husband or wife, or maybe big bungalow, or whatever things, right? But all these things that themselves, why do we want them? Because there is one word that we are looking for. Okay, everyone in this world is looking for that one thing. Can you tell me what that one thing is? Let's start our session with that. Self-satisfaction, some of you are saying. Happiness, okay, no sound, okay. Some of you apparently are able to hear me. Let's see. All right, peace. Some of you are saying peace. Some of you are saying money. Some of you are saying happiness, stability. Okay, thank you for all of your answers. Okay, that's wonderful. Yes, you're right. We are all looking for happiness. Okay, happiness is that one word that I was looking for. Why do we want big car? Why do we want big bungalow? Why do we want big salary? Finally, I want to be happy in my life. Okay, now I have another question for you. How much happiness do you want in your life? Can you tell me how much happiness do I want in the life? Okay, no limit. Okay, some of you are saying infinite. That is correct. You are absolutely correct. And one of the hindrance that we have in the happiness, right? Yes, you are absolutely right. We all are looking for infinite happiness. So in the search of that infinite happiness, all right, so you can see that people are trying to find this happiness in variety of things. For example, let's look at this small child. He's trying to find happiness in a balloon, right? But as he grows up a little, he leaves that balloon aside and takes a tricycle, right? He finds happiness in the tricycle. Then he leaves the tricycle aside as he grows and maybe he or she takes to a sport or something else, right? Beyond that, as we grow further, we look for a partner in our life. Beyond that, money is honey. Isn't that true? So people are looking for money in their life. Or when we grow even further old, when we become grandfather, right? We are looking for love from our grandchildren, for example. So you can see that this old man is looking for love from granddaughter. It is undeniable fact that we all want happiness. And you're right that we all want infinite happiness. But there is an hindrance to the happiness. What is that hindrance? That we also get suffering, although we do not want it. Isn't that true? We all want happiness, but unfortunately we get this suffering in our life, which we don't want. How much suffering do you want in the life? Can you tell me how much suffering do you want in the life? Zero suffering. That's correct. We want zero suffering. So people are trying various things to get this happiness. We saw, for example, in our childhood, we look for balloon, but we left it aside. We leave one thing aside and take to another thing because that thing doesn't give us enough happiness that we are looking for. That's why we take another thing. So there's so many things that people are trying in this world. For example, right? Fashion. People are trying out so many different types of fashions. We can do a 1 hour lecture to basically and have a very funny lecture to describe what kind of fashions people are going for, just to find that happiness. That's not all. The craving for happiness is so strong that we are willing to risk our lives as well for that. For example, this person is jumping off with a parachute. Unfortunately, sometimes the parachute may not open, but but this person is ready to take that risk and jumping off parachute, daredevil acts. Is that true? Or for sports, we all know that so many people play sports to find happiness, but people go beyond that. Some people do smoking, even if it results in a lung cancer. Some people take liquor, even if it results in, say, liver cirrhosis. Some people go for illicit relationships, even if they result in sexually transmitted diseases. Out of desperation, people try so many things out just to satisfy that craving for happiness. Now, the question is, the most important question, which will be revolving in this session, is we are struggling for happiness, but are we able to enjoy that happiness? Are we able to find that happiness? Anybody can tell me, are we able to find that happiness? We want to be young forever, but we get old, unfortunately. We want to be healthy forever, but people do get sick. Right now, the entire world is suffering with coronavirus. People don't want this pandemic. People don't want this suffering, but that hinders our happiness. So although we are looking for happiness, right, we are not able to find it. We assume, the reason is that we assume that happiness simply means the improved facilities for eating, right? For example, we want to eat lots of gulab jamuns, but as soon as we eat 2, 3, 4, if we eat 10 gulab jamun, will we find happiness in that? Our tongue and our belly will say, no, no more. It's enough for me. So that's eating. Eating can give us happiness, but how much? It has a limit. Sleeping, right? People want to sleep in their Dunlop pillow bed for happiness, or for that matter, procreation. Procreation, right? People find partner and they are finding happiness for that. Isn't that true? Through that, or defending. These are the 4 activities. For example, we have this intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM. Just with a push of a button, we can destroy another country, for all you know, right? That's defense. So we have these 4 activities that people consider important. And all of these aspects, the activities that we discussed until now, they are just to improve these 4 facilities: eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense for us, so that we feel happy. But if you think deeply, okay, animals also, they have friends like us. Animals also have fun, and animals also have families. And in fact, animals also find happiness in eating or sleeping, right? Animals also sleep, or procreation and defense. I have seen dogs fighting for their territories, right? See, in the same way, sometimes we claim it's my country, it's my area, it's my region, right? It's not very different from what animals are doing. Isn't that true? So we can see that animals also find happiness in these 4 activities. Now, if these 4 activities are the same, then the question begs, in what way human being is superior to animals? Isn't that true? This is a big question. Someone might say that animals are eating in garbage and I will eat in 5-star hotel. That's how I'm superior. Or animals are sleeping in a railway platform. However, I am sleeping in a Dunlop pillow bed in my wonderful house. Animals, they mate on streets, but we have big bungalows. Animals, they defend with the claws, but we have this powerful advanced technology to defend ourselves. But the purpose is the same. We are still doing eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense, maybe in a sophisticated way, but we are still doing those same activities. Martin Luther King once said, we have guided missiles. You know, we have made so much progress in technology, but we have misguided men. But we are not able to control our minds. There is so much suffering that we see around. Animals are also, you may say that, okay, we have good societies and we have good friends, but animals also have that. Bees have that, ants have that. So we can see that eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense are common between animals and us. Then what is the difference between humans and animals? And I have been watching, right? This question is important. You can answer this question. What is the difference between humans and animals? Very important. Some of you are saying intellect, but I can tell you, I have seen sometimes a cat, when it wants to steal the milk, drink the milk, it comes very softly without making any sound. No mew mew there, right? And drinks the milk and goes away. Or dog knows how to defend. If we throw the stones, he has intelligence to defend, to run away if required. If we clap, they know how to defend themselves. So we can see that it is not that animals don't have intelligence. Animals also have intelligence in these four activities: eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense. They are very intelligent actually, animals. You know in what way animals find their food? Very intelligent ways. So we cannot say that animals lack intelligence. So let's say that let's look at some of these animals now. At least in this eating, sleeping, procreation, of defense, can we say that humans are better than animals? So we have these animals having better capabilities than humans also. How? Let's see. Can you tell me this animal, eagle, what is a better capability that eagle has compared to us? Anybody? Eyesight, you're right. Eagle, which is in the sky, can see a smallest food item that is there lying on the ground. So in order to find food, it has excellent eyesight. Humans don't have that. Horse, what does horse do? Anybody? Horse is actually much better than human beings in speed. You are right. In running, we cannot compete with horse. How about dogs? Does anybody know? How is dog better than us? Dogs have loyalty. Thank you so much. Dogs have a sense of smell, right? They can find their food with that sense of smell very well. How is elephant better than us? In strength. Thank you so much. Elephant is amazingly strong. It can defend itself like human beings cannot, right? Very strong. Or polar bear. Now this is actually a question for you all. How is polar bear better? In what activity is polar bear better? Anybody can? Oh, sleeping. Some of you are correct. Yes, sleeping. Actually, one of my friends slept on Friday and got up on Monday, and I was shocked to know that. But you know, polar bears can sleep for 6 months. What is it called? Anybody knows what is the sleep of polar bear called? Hibernation. Thank you. Some of you have already answered that. Yes. And how about this cuckoo? Cuckoo, what it is good at? We all know that cuckoo is an excellent singer, and we cannot compete with cuckoo in the singing. You can see that these animals sometimes are better than us also, especially in eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense. So we can see that in these four activities, animals have rational power and intelligence also. But for these four activities, eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense. And sometimes the animals are even better than us in these activities. This is unbelievable, isn't that true? So the question is, someone may say that we have advanced technology, right? Where animals don't. Is this advancement in science and technology producing happiness? Ask this question to yourself. We see today these cosmopolitan cities, air is polluted, water is polluted, traffic jams in car, there is enough suffering. There are suicides in this corona period. These people are wealthy people who are committing suicides. This advancement in technology, is it making, if we are employing it in only these four activities, eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense, and is it making our life happy at all? You will see that despite all these advancement, unfortunately, the modern day humans are dissatisfied, you will see, full of anxiety, stressed, depressed, and above all, unhappy. It may be because of workload that they have, the very lifestyle, the habits that people have. In 2019, one of the students in IIT committed suicide. When I was in IISc, one of my batchmates committed suicide. Police is very difficult to control this criminal tendencies people have. Our efforts to make ourselves happy through this advanced technology, is it making us happy at all? We are trying to increase the luxuries and comforts. So the advanced technology helps man enjoy better luxuries for eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense. However, it does not offer us inner joy of heart. And that's what we are looking for. That's the void that we are trying to fill. So animals, I have not seen animals committing suicides. A he dog doesn't commit suicide because she dog ditches him. No divorces, no drug abuse in animals. But human beings, they go through all this suffering. Isn't that true? Just think about it. So the man is suffering from all these even after advancement in science. So the question begs again, how is human being superior? Is anybody able to answer that question? Okay, I'm going to end the suspense here, all right? So we have been talking, oh, fantastic. Wow, someone has pasted the shloka that I was going to talk about. Thank you so much. Yes, so what makes human superior to animal, right? You're all very intelligent, okay? Yes, there is this shloka from Mahabharata, which is so wonderful. Ahar nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanyametat pashubhir naranam dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. So very simple Sanskrit, okay? Ahar nidra bhayamaithun, eating, sleeping, defense and procreation. These four activities. Samanyam etat pashubhir naranam. They are the same between humans and animals. What is the difference then? Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. What is difference is the dharma. And I'll describe what this dharma is. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Without that dharma, human being is same as animal. So what is this dharma that we are talking about? We are talking about, when we say dharma here, we talk about asking questions like, why is this world created? Who am I? What constitutes happiness? How can I get infinite happiness? What constitutes life? How can I get inner fulfillment, not just external accomplishments? When we ask these questions, that is the meaning of dharma. This is called as Brahma Jidnasa. In our Vedic scriptures, it is written Brahma Jidnasa. Vedic Vedanta Sutras start with Athato Brahma Jidnasa. Athato means therefore. This is a book that starts from therefore. Have you ever seen a book that starts from therefore? Therefore, Brahma Jidnasa, ask these questions. Jidnasa means asking these questions. What are these questions? Existential questions. Why am I existing? Who am I? What is the goal of my life? So, therefore, why therefore? Because you're reading it, you're a human being. Because you're a human being, therefore ask these questions. That is what makes human beings different from animals. I have never seen a dog coming and asking, why do I exist? Never. A cat doing the same. So human beings are different. So we can have beautiful dress, but may not have beauty, right? Or we can have Dunlop pillow bed, but may not get sleep. We may have a lot of money, but that may not make us happy. We cannot purchase happiness with money, you know. Money can give us luxuries, but people are still unhappy despite having money. So why am I not getting this happiness? Although I have all the money, everything, but why am I not happy? When human beings ask these questions, then they are different than animals. So animals can inquire about eating, sleeping, procreation, and defense, and human beings should also do that. Okay, no problems with that. But human beings have advanced intelligence. Some of you said we have advanced intelligence, but advanced intelligence to inquire about higher principles like life, like death. What does death mean? Beyond life and death, beyond death, what is there? And they can make the right choice in their life. They can choose. They have discrimination, ability to discriminate good from the bad and ask these questions in their life. That's how, that's what makes human beings different from animals. So what are these inquiries? Who am I? Does God exist? Is there a supreme? What is the secret of success? Finding the true guide. Can I get a true guide who can find me success? Is there life after death at all? Who is the supreme person? And can we get whatever we want in our life? Or how to achieve unending happiness? That's what we started with this session, you know, and how to make impossible possible. Is it possible to do that? Do we make destiny or destiny makes us? Is there something called as destiny at all? If God is one, then why there are so many religions? Have you got this question ever? Or why do bad things happen to good people? Have you experienced these questions? If you have thought about these questions, then congratulations, because you are using your higher intelligence of human life, right, to inquire about these very important aspects of human life. And we are going to answer these questions in this course. Okay, so we are going to have a course where we are going to answer all these questions for you. These questions animals can't ask, okay, and much more. So what we are going to, so in this world, there are two types of qualities, divine qualities and demoniac qualities. And we are talking about making a right choice. We have this intelligence to make a right choice. Now, divine qualities are like humility, tolerance, patience, compassion, helpfulness, joy, love. Or demoniac qualities like selfishness, arrogance, anger, greed, lust, jealousy. Now, my question to you is, what produces happiness in the life? Do divine qualities produce happiness, or demoniac qualities produce happiness? Can you type your answer? Do divine qualities produce happiness, or demoniac qualities produce divine qualities? Thank you so much. People have tried to live with demoniac qualities, to just beg, borrow, or steal and enjoy, but there is no happiness in that. Absolutely no happiness. So it is the divine qualities that take us up. Divine qualities like positive thinking, they take us up. Demoniac qualities result in negative thinking, they take us down in our life, right? And we have a choice to go for divine qualities, okay? And give up the demoniac qualities. Now, why should we do that, right? So if we go with divine qualities, then we can live our life in a manner we can get happiness, and we can work in a very smart way. Okay, so we are traveling. Assume that we are traveling in a train. We expect journey to be comfortable and reach destination, right destination, right? Similarly, right now we all are in a journey through our life, the game of life, and we want to be happy in this world. Beyond this life as well, we want to be happy. Infinite happiness we want to have. So the way we live our life, it determines our future. If we live with divine qualities, then our future is good. We'll find happiness. Otherwise, we will not. Right? So what we are going to talk about is we are going to discuss 2 tips today, right? That will help us find happiness in our life. Okay. And these 2 tips, first tip is book of life. What is this book of life? You can see the man on the left. He's getting wild. He's upset with himself, right? And making others upset also. Isn't that true? On the other hand, the person on the right side is very cheerful, happy, making others happy too. In our book of life, there are 100 chapters. We live for 100 years. And every chapter has 365 pages. 1 page is 1 day. Okay? And we are writing on this book of life. Correct? If we have divine qualities, then like compassion, joy, love, happiness, or cooperation with others, then we write on the book of our life with a good handwriting. But if some of the qualities are like being greedy, rude, unfriendly, then we are writing the book of life with bad handwriting. The good news is that whatever are maybe the 18 chapters of your book of life are already written, but there are 82 chapters that are remaining. So how should you write the book of your life so that you get happiness? So my question to you, all of you, before we go ahead, is that how do we write the book of our life? Can you tell in what way do we write the book of our life? Okay, you are saying decisions, experience, knowledge, by our actions. Thank you so much. By our struggles, that's good. By the things we do, I'm just reading out your answers. Thank you. Experience, absolutely correct. Yeah, you're all extremely intelligent people. Okay. Importantly, it starts from thoughts. Importantly, it starts from positive qualities. Okay. Rest of the book we can write, if we write with our positive qualities, positive thoughts, positive actions, positive character, then we can write in a very good handwriting the rest of the 82 chapters of our life, and we will be happy. Okay, thank you for all those answers. So you can see that people on the left, they are poor people actually, whereas people on the right are rich people. My question to you is, who is looking happy? People on the left or people on the right? Who is looking happy there? You will see that happiness does not come necessarily for money. It's very important to understand that happiness comes from these positive qualities like the kindness, compassion, joy, helping others, helpful nature. That is what is making these people happy, people on the left happy. Whereas people on the right, they may have money, but there is a hatred, there is fighting that is going on. So it is a positive qualities which make our book of life good, and happiness comes from there. So importantly, I want to talk about, since we are talking about the book of life, our body is described in our Vedic scriptures as a chariot. Okay, our Upanishads give this example. Chariot of the body has 5 horses, which are the 5 senses, like eyes, nose, tongue, skin, and things like that. Whereas the mind is the reins, the ropes that control these horses. And the intelligence is the driver of the chariot. Who is the passenger? Passenger is the spirit soul who is sitting, who we are really. Passenger is the one that is using the chariot of this body to take us to the goal. Isn't that true? He's going somewhere, some direction he wants to go. Like the way, for example, the car is dead, but when the driver sits in the car appears to be moving. Isn't that true? Similarly, when soul is there in the body, sitting in the body, then the body appears to be moving, right? So body appears to be alive because of the presence of soul. Otherwise, body is always dead. Now, in this chariot of body, if the intelligence is strong, then it can control the mind, the ropes, and then it can control the senses. And then the horses go in the right direction and the soul reaches the destination where he is trying to go. But can you tell me what will happen if intelligence is not strong and the mind is not able to control the horses, and all the horses run in different directions, right? Like eyes going here, ears going there, and things like that. So what will happen to the chariot of a body? Where will it go? Anybody can say, where will the chariot of body go if these 5 senses go in different directions? Nowhere. Pretty much correct. It will not go to the right destination. So when we have control over our senses, right, it is better. Control over our senses is very important. Okay, so control is good. Otherwise, our senses will go in different directions, like smoking, drinking, or whatever it is. But when we have control, the chariot of the body goes in the right direction. For example, let me ask you a question. The control in a car is offered by a brake. Now, if you are given a car which does not have a brake, and another time you are given a car which has a brake, which car you will be drive faster on a highway? I mean, literally, you are driving on a highway and you know that a car doesn't have a brake, and other car, one with the brake, you can drive faster. Thank you. Why? Because you know that you can actually control it better. So the control is good. Control on the senses is good. And we get positive qualities through this control. Restraint, tolerance, all these are positive qualities we get through the control. So our Vedas, they also tell us that we are all pure by nature, always pure. We are like a drop of rain falling from the sky. And this drop of rain, raindrop falling from the sky, we can drink. That's how pure it is. But when it mixes in the mud, then it becomes impure. Similarly, we all have all divine qualities, innate qualities, we call it. The yellow ones are the innate qualities, all divine qualities. But we somehow acquire these bad qualities, which we want to give up, really, right? So can you tell me, how do we acquire bad qualities if we are pure, innate? Inherently, we are very pure. How do we How do we get these bad qualities? Can you tell, can anybody answer that? How do we acquire this? Okay, mixing with the mud, you're right, but the influence, yes, from the environment. And friends, thank you so much. The association, the society, yes. All these bad qualities are like infection, like a coronavirus, right? And we always have this infection around. As we mix with other people, we tend to catch that infection with us. Tell me how your friends are, and I can tell you what qualities you have, because we have the average of the qualities of our friends. So we catch this infection. And what kind of infection is that? So we'll talk about some of the bad qualities, but we have to remove this infection. We have to remove these bad qualities so that we can write the book of our life with a good handwriting, right? Some of these bad qualities that we acquire are, for example, simple. There are simple bad qualities like postponing, or serious bad qualities like inability in team playing. You know, playing in a team is very difficult because you have to hang over your ego. You have to leave your ego aside. Harvard Business Review says 82% of the leaders, they fail because of lack of team playing. That's a bad quality. Or for that matter, loyalty. One of the employees in our company, he was selling the secrets of our company to another company. So when our company found out, he was sacked from the job. Then he went to the other company to find a job. How many of you think, did other company give him a job? Anybody? No, you're right. No job for him because lack of loyalty. So all these bad qualities, they have to be given up. And then when we have positive qualities, right, which are all divine qualities, right, then we can write the book of our life in a very good way for rest of the 82 chapters. So you have a choice of what association you can have. Okay, you can choose your friends. Please choose your friends wisely, because you can catch the infections from them. These infections are the infections of bad quality. So you choose good friends and you can catch good infection from them, which is not an infection really, right? These are the good qualities, and you can make your life full of divine qualities and therefore happy. So that's our first tip, writing your book of life. Now, the second tip is very important. Please listen to me for next 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, very important. Know the personality types. Our Vedas describe that there are 3 types of personalities that we are going to talk today. Okay. And that is going to be very practical in your life. So there are 3 types of personalities described in our Vedas. One is personality in mode of goodness, which is also called as Sattva Gun. Second is personality in mode of passion, called Rajogun. And personality in a mode of ignorance, called Tamogun. For example, in this diagram, in this picture, you will see on the left side, you will see a very friendly boss, right? He's very friendly to the subordinate. In middle diagram, you will see, middle figure, you will see the boss is shouting. That's in the mode of passion. Okay. In first mode of goodness, someone is encouraging. Second, someone is shouting. Third, if the subordinate is not working well, then he's just crying. Oh, what will happen to me now? So these are the qualities, personality types. We all are a combination of these 3 types of personalities. Okay. But in us, one of the modes is dominant than the others. Okay. I will talk about these modes a little bit in detail. Let's talk about the mode of ignorance first. The people in the mode of ignorance, they are characterized by sleepiness, laziness, and madness. They take to intoxication, for example. They are depressed. They are full of anxiety. They take to liquor and things like that. They are always crying. They cannot think clearly. They cannot make decisions properly. They don't have any initiative. They copy work from others. For example, fox. Fox is a representative animal. Fox eats whatever lion leaves. You will see many people, some of your friends, for example, will come to you for copying your work. You can see that's the quality, personality in a mode of ignorance. Okay, no thinking and no decision making, just crying. That's all. That's a characteristic of mode of ignorance. All right. Second is mode of passion. These people are greedy. These people are angry. These people want all the credit. They are struggling, striving for honor. They want all the honor. They are individual players. They can't work well with others. Very difficult. They are over ambitious. They think that either I win or the other person wins. So better I win, right? So you can see lion is a representative animal. For example, we saw in the in the in the picture there that subordinate is not working well. So what will this person in the mode of passion do? He will shout at him. He'll be very angry. Why are you not working well? Things like that. Fire him. This is what this personality in the mode of passion does. Whereas personality in mode of ignorance will just hold his head. Oh my God, the subordinate is not working now. So how will my work get done? So that's the difference between the two. Okay. Now let's look at the personality in the mode of goodness. These people are very calm. These are very gentle people. They are friendly. They are compassionate. Karuna. They have karuna for others. They are kind to others. They are helpful in nature. Okay. They have creative thinking and creative decision making. They have clarity in thinking, clarity in decision making. They are very calm. Okay. Cow is an example of such an animal. So if a mode of goodness manager finds out that the subordinate is not working, can you tell what will he do? Anybody can tell? Anybody can tell what a manager in a mode of goodness do if he finds that the subordinate is not working? Okay, explain him and help him. True, guidance, patience, encourage, motivate. Thank you. You are understand it very well. Importantly, he has clarity in thinking, clarity in decision making. He will train the subordinate. He will train the subordinate to work well. That's how he will think twice and then make an action. So that's the personality in the mode of goodness. All right. So my question to you is, which mode we should rise? Which personality mode we should rise in us? This is not something that we are like baked with these modes, right? We can actually increase some mode. Thank you. Some of you are saying mode of goodness. You are absolutely correct. It's the mode of goodness that we should increase in our personality. Again, just for better understanding, we will take another example of differentiating between mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay. So there is a cap seller. This is a situation. Okay. There is a cap seller who is going from one town to another selling caps. In between, there was a forest where he's resting under a tree and he goes to sleep. When he wakes up, he finds that there are no caps in his bag. So he looks up and he sees that all the caps are on the heads of the monkey. So now, if this cap seller is in a mode of ignorance, okay, if this cap seller is in a mode of ignorance, how will he react to this situation? Depressed, thank you. He will cry. You are absolutely correct. Very intelligent answers. He will just cry. He will just say, oh my God, I have lost all the money now. What will I do now? He will not be able to do anything. No thinking, no decision making. Excuse me. So this is what, for example, a CEO of a company may do when there is a loss. He will just sit like this. He may sit like this if he's in a mode of ignorance. Oh, what can I do now? I am doomed. My company is in loss. That's in a mode of ignorance. Okay. Now let's imagine that this cap seller is in a mode of passion. What will he do? Can anyone tell? Oh, throw stones at the monkey. That's correct. Or shout at them. Hey, return me the caps. Shout. Maybe be very angry. But will he get the caps back? May not. Might not get the caps back. That's in the mode of passion. Now, last important thing. What will this cap seller do if he's in a mode of goodness? Sattva good. Any use his brain, think calmly, situation, yes, creative. He's very creative. Think about ideas. What can we do now? And yes, one of the solutions is he will take his cap and throw in the bag. And as soon as he throws the cap, monkeys like to imitate. So they will take their cap and throw in the bag too. So you can see that clarity in thinking, clarity in decision making for a person who is in a mode of goodness. So you have already answered me which mode we should try to increase in us. See, we are a combination of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, some parts will be there, but we should try to increase the mode of goodness and try to reduce the mode of ignorance and mode of passion. Some mode of passion may be useful, but it has to be directed by the mode of goodness. For example, we may need boldness, we may need initiative, which is in a mode of passion. But when it is guided by mode of goodness, it goes in the right direction, you know. Otherwise, we will take wrong initiatives, incorrect initiatives. But when we have clarity in thinking through mode of goodness, then we can take the right initiative. You get it? So it is very important to have this quality in a mode of goodness to become a noble leader. Many kings in our country, right? They are guided by such people who are in a mode of goodness, right? So that the combination is amazing, right? They have been able to rule the country in a very good way. So can you give examples of kings who have been guided by people in a mode of goodness, you know, and therefore they were able to rule very properly? Any examples that come to your mind? Okay, Ashok, King Ashok, yes. Chanakya, oh yes, you're right. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, yes, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in Maharashtra, for example, he was always guided by Samat Ramdas Swami or Tukaram Maharaj, personalities in a mode of goodness. Or Chandragupta Maurya, he has been guided by Chanakya. So you can see that when these qualities in a mode of passion, they're guided by mode of goodness, right? Then we achieve success in our life. So we should try to eliminate mode of ignorance as much as possible. We should reduce the mode of passion. We should increase the mode of goodness so that goodness kind of directs the mode of passion. Okay, very important. So now the next question that comes, that must be in your mind, how do we increase the mode of goodness in our life? How do we increase the mode of goodness within us? So I'm going to give you this 5 ABCDE formula to increase the mode of goodness. If you do this in your life, you will increase the mode of goodness. All the divine qualities that we talked about, like tolerance, patience, clarity in thinking, clarity in decision making, these are all divine qualities. Once you have these qualities with the mode of goodness, then you will lead a very happy life. That's what we started with this session, happiness we want to achieve. So these are the 5 formula to increase the mode of goodness. One is A, B, C, D, E. A means association. When we associate with those type of people who are in a mode of goodness, who have qualities in a mode of goodness, then we catch those qualities. We have discussed that in the first tip also. So please associate. You have that choice. Exercise that choice. Avoid association of people who are infected with bad qualities. Take association of people who have good qualities. That's a choice you have. Second is reading books. What kind of books do we read? If we read books like Vedic scriptures, wisdom books like that, Bible, Quran, these kind of books, Vedic scriptures, then you will see that they give us enough wisdom to understand what is good for us and not good for us. They give us the knowledge, and that also brings us to the mode of goodness. So what is right, what is wrong, that is given in these books. Third, chanting and meditation. When we meditate, our mind becomes very calm. The restlessness goes away. That brings in clarity in thinking, clarity in decision making. So if you take this one thing from this session, right? Do meditation for 15 minutes in a day, 10 minutes in a day. Then you will achieve a lot. You will increase your focus. You will increase your clarity in thinking. That will help you in your career. Even this one tip in this session. Excuse me. Now, the fourth is D. D means diet. Food actually has an impact on our consciousness. Food itself is in a mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. For example, if you eat a lot of hot food, you will see that it increases passion in us. So it is recommended to eat food like fruits, milk, grains, cereals, vegetables, and things like that. You may ask, how will I get strength? Well, elephant also eats these things and gets strength. No problems. But what is important is it improves the consciousness. It brings us in the mode of goodness. And finally, E, final environment, how the surrounding is. If it is neat and clean, then it has positive effect on us. It brings us in a mode of goodness. If it is a lot of cluttered, then it brings us in a mode of passion and ignorance. very quickly. Even the music has an effect on us. If there is a lot of rock music going on, it increases the mode of passion. You will see, you can experience these things. So if you want to be in the mode of goodness, remember this formula, ABCDE. Association, books, right? Association of people with good qualities. Books like Vedic scriptures, for example, they give us the right knowledge to come in a mode of goodness. C is chanting and meditation, very important, that calms our mind. And D is diet. Diet means eating the right food in the mode of goodness. And 5 is E, environment, uncluttered environment. So you can see that if we bring ourselves in the mode of goodness, I'm going to give you an example of this chanting and meditation, right? So there is this one type of meditation called mantra meditation. There has been a research done on mantra meditation. And it is observed that our brains actually, they release waves called as brain waves, and they have different frequencies. If the brain frequency is less than 8 hertz, then it is actually in a mode of ignorance. It is laziness, sleepiness, drowsiness. If it is more than 13, then it is in the mode of passion, too much activity, in fact hyperactivity, that's mode of passion. But if it is between 8 and 13, then our mind is relaxed and it is alert. In this aspect, right, in this state, we can think clearly, it's in a mode of goodness. So the yellow region is in a mode of goodness. And it has been proven by a research that when we meditate, then it can bring us in this middle region, the relaxed alertness, by measuring the brain waves. So we have seen this formula ABCDE to increase the mode of goodness within us. So these are the 2 tips we saw. How do we write the book of life with positive qualities, divine qualities, so that we become happy? How do we increase the mode of goodness within us so that we become happy? So with that, I'm going to speak about some of the future sessions. If you like these sessions and if you want to increase the mode of goodness, right, we have this 5S formula, which we are going to cover in future. 5 topics, 5S topics, which will raise us in the mode of goodness and cultivate all the positive qualities, divine qualities, so that our life becomes happy and successful. Now, some of you have asked this question, I noticed that, right? So first S, let's talk about. First S is soul. I saw one question. Can you describe what soul is scientifically? In this topic, we describe the soul scientifically. We prove scientifically that soul exists. Like the way our body is like a car. It is inactive, really. Because when a driver sits in a car moves. In the same way, when the soul is in the body appears to be living. It is the soul which is living. So who am I? It's very important to know, because who am I? It basically changes the world. Depending on what our answer to this question is, changes the world around us. So it is the imperishable soul. We never die. That's what our Vedas tell. Soul simply moves from one body to another at the time of death. We never die. So this imperishable soul is the driver of our body. We are going to describe this scientifically. We are going to answer scientifically, give scientific proofs in this session of existence of soul, and how can we become truly happy with this knowledge that we are not the body but spirit soul. So that is one. Our first S. Second topic is going to be another S. Like the way this small body that we have, this machine, is driven by spirit soul. What about the huge cosmic machine that exists, the entire world, the universe? Is there some big brain behind it also? Is there some supreme that is controlling this bigger machine? So we are going to talk about this aspect scientifically. We are going to show scientifically how there must be a supreme behind this cosmic machine, how things are working in a very orderly fashion. So that's our second S, second topic. Third topic is going to be the scriptures. Now, when we go to college, we are given books to study and gain knowledge. Isn't that true? We all refer to some books. Similarly, everything that is happening in the life and in this universe, it is given in these books called as scriptures. They teach us what to do, what not to do, what is good to do, what is not good to do. They are like manual. For example, if we buy a cooker or we buy a cell phone, we buy a television monitor, along with that we get one thing. What do we get? We get manual. If we operate this thing according to manual, then there is no problem. In the same way, this big cosmic machine and even our small bodily machine, it has come up with a manual. These manuals are the scriptures. If we operate this big machine or even our small bodily machine according to the manual, then they function properly and we get happiness. But if we operate in a wrong way, which is not described in the manual, then there may be problems, and we are seeing our life to be in problems these days. That's what we started with. So that's the third S, which is the scriptures. What are all the scriptures and what do they tell? And fourth S is the solution. We started with the problem. I want infinite happiness, but I get only zero. And I want zero miseries. I'm sorry. I want infinite happiness. I want zero miseries, but I don't get that happiness that I am looking for. So what is the solution? Our manual, which is the scriptures, tell us the solution. And we have discussed this solution. What is the solution that is told in order to get infinite happiness? Our Vedic wisdom gives us infinite happiness and zero miseries if we follow that. Have you come across any book which promises you infinite happiness and zero misery? There is no book in this entire world who promises that. But scriptures do promise that because they are the manual of life. So what solutions do scriptures suggest so that we can get infinite happiness and zero miseries? So how can we put full stop to the real problems of life that is described in the scriptures? Okay, that is the fourth part, solution. And the fifth part is sound vibration, which is the meditation we discussed, like mantra meditation, and how this sound vibration helps us in our life to achieve happiness. So these are the 5S formula that we have. There are 5 topics that are going to cover it, that will answer all the questions that you may have about life. First is soul, second is supreme, third is scriptures, fourth is the solution, and the fifth is sound vibration. All the questions that you may have in your life: what is the goal of my life? Who am I? All these, how do I find the happiness? All these athato brahma jidnasa questions that we discussed at the beginning of chapter, this session, that differentiates human being from animals. We will answer that in these 5 sessions. Okay. So thank you for patiently listening to me. Okay. I hope this session has been useful to you. And these 5 topics are going to be useful not just in student life, throughout your life. So please sign up for this. That will be my suggestion. So with that, I'm going to stop and I'm going to hand it over to organizers. And by the way, if you have any questions, please type on the chat box. I'll be taking them. Yes.
Related to questions, we have shared one link. So am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes.
So this was the awesome lecture. I was just hearing and I was noting how we can really be successful going to goodness, and 5 years formula which will be covering. Okay, eco is there. Hello, now eco is there.
Now it's much better. Thank you.
Yeah. So regarding attendance link, it has been recorded and attendance is recorded. So it was awesome lecture by Niranjan sir. How many of you liked the lecture? Kindly comment A in the comment box 3 times. A. Awesome. It was wonderful lecture. I have been hearing this lecture again and again, and oh wow. Such awesome response. Thank you very much, sir. One second. Sir, that screen sharing, can you stop one second? Yeah. So I request one link was been shared. Sir will just share that link in a minute. Yeah. So these are the screen sharing. Can you stop? There are some questions on the actual sheet. One link was been shared. Sir will just share that link in a minute. Yeah. So these are the screen sharing. Can you stop? There are some questions on the actual sheet. Link was been shared. Sir will just share that link in a minute.
Shubh, you are not audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, tech team was not audible, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, shared. Is it shared? Yeah. So these are some questions. Yellow ones we can address basically.
Okay.
Is it audible?
So
Is it visible, sir?
it is visible. Okay, so let's answer your question. And if you have more questions, please type on the whatever link that has been given to you so that we can answer them. Okay. So first is it necessary to read Bhagavad Gita? So we can see whether it's Bhagavad Gita, whether it's Bible, Quran, but the scriptures, I can tell you that
yellow ones we can address basically.
Okay, maybe I think we need to mute. I can hear some. And if you have more questions, all right. Okay, so these scriptures, as I was describing, are including Bhagavad Gita, right? They are the manual for our life. Now, question is, should we be reading Bhagavad Gita? The question is, should we be reading manual before we operate something? If the answer is yes, we should be reading the manual so that we can get the most out of this device. Anything that you find, any gadget that you find, right? If you see a new gadget, there are two questions that we ask. Who made the gadget and how to use it? And what does it do, for example, right? So this entire cosmic universe acts like a machine. Our body acts like a machine. It is like a machine, really. So how do we use that in the best possible way so that there is no problems while using the machine? That is given in Bhagavad Gita, the manual. And if we read that and use our machine, then it will not give problems. So happiness, so all the problems that we are facing in our life, we don't understand why we face them. That is described in Bhagavad Gita, why we face problems. And how to get rid of these problems is described in Bhagavad Gita. How to find a lasting solution, not like temporary solution, lasting solution to all our problems. That is described in Bhagavad Gita. So everybody who has this question, what is the goal of my life? Bhagavad Gita gives that answer because it's a manual of life. So anybody who has this Athato Brahma Jigyasa question must read Bhagavad Gita because it has answer to all these questions, given in an unambiguous way. Okay, so yes, we should read this Bhagavad Gita because we are human beings, right? And we want to solve all the problems of our life. I hope that answers the question. Thank you. Is there another question? I'm not able to see the questions, so someone can read that question or someone can ask. All right. Okay. Thank you. I can see the questions now. The next question is how to make good habits. Very important question. Extremely important question. You know, what are the habits? Habits are the patterns that are formed in the mind. Based on the inputs that we give to the mind, mind is trained. Like the way You have seen artificial intelligence, right? Neural network. When we give the inputs to the neural network, it is trained. If you do the same activity again and again and again, then mind is trained to do that activity very quickly, very efficiently. That is called as habit. Now, it depends on what input you give to the mind. If you give good input, like if you want to exercise regularly, you keep on exercising regularly, your mind will learn to exercise regularly. Initially, it might be trouble, but later on, after the habit is formed, there is no problem. But if you give bad input to the mind, like smoking, alcoholism, liquor, mind will get trained in that. And mind will is extremely good at, after once it is trained, it's extremely good. That's why we get addictions. So how do we train mind? How do we get the good habits? You give good inputs to the mind, right? If you give good inputs, you will get good training, and the mind, good habits, mind has them. If you give garbage inputs, there will be garbage habits that will be created. So there is a GIGO principle, good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out. So give good to the mind, input to the mind, good training to the mind. How do we train to the mind? There are two very, very powerful ways: action and association. Who do we associate with? We tend to catch those qualities of the other person. That has big impression on the mind, and we catch the habits of the other person also. And the second aspect is we talked about association. Second is action. What actions we are performing? If we perform positive actions, then we train the mind in a positive way. So please watch your association and action. Okay. Importantly, the five ABCD formula that I gave to come in the mode of goodness. If you come in the mode of goodness, you will see all good habits are in the mode of goodness. Exercising regularly, getting up early in the morning, good planning for studying, right? Focus in study, attention while studying. These are all in mode of goodness. If you come in a mode of goodness with ABCD formula, then automatically you will get good habits and you will dislike bad habits automatically. That's the characteristic of mode of goodness, because bad habits are in a mode of ignorance or mode of passion. Once you come to mode of goodness, you will automatically avoid them. Okay, thank you for that question.
Yeah, sir. I will just ask the question from my side.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, sir, there are three questions which are similar in context. Like first is how to distinguish between good and bad friends, and bad friends, and
very important to know. Yes.
yeah.
Sorry.
And a person going in depression, how to overcome that depression, and like this is related to negativity, and how to overcome fear and negativity.
Yeah. So these are two different questions. So one is about fear and negativity, and other is how to understand what is good and what is not good, right? And who good friends are. So who are good, what is good and what is not good? If you ask your mind, then your mind will take you for a ride, because mind will tell that, okay, drinking alcohol is good. And then you may think that it is good if you ask your mind. Terrorists are killing people because their minds are telling them that that's a good thing to do. Right? So we should never ask mind what is good, because mind, whatever it feels good, it says I like it and this is a good thing to do. Right? So we should have stronger intelligence. We should have stronger intelligence by reading books, wisdom books. When we read Bhagavad Gita, for example, we know what is good and what is not good. It is clearly described in the scriptures, Vedic scriptures. This is a manual of life. If you do this, it will be good. If you do that, it will not be good. It is clearly described. When we feed our intelligence with this knowledge, then at that time we understand what is good, what is not good, and then intelligence can control the mind, saying that no, it is not good. So that is a quality of discrimination which intelligence get after reading these books. Thank you. And the second question was asked is how to control depression, negativity. Yes. Our mind has a natural tendency to be depressed. It has natural tendency to go in the negative. It always thinks of the worst. That's a quality in a mode of ignorance. We want to rise above that. We want to diminish ignorance and we want to increase goodness, right? Depression, anxiety is in mode of ignorance. So how do we catch this quality, good quality of not being depressed, good quality of always seeing the positive side of things? positive thinking, it is what is called, right? Rather than negative thinking. Number one is associate with those people, right, who have this positive thinking quality. They always look at things in a positive direction. That is in a mode of goodness, right? So arise in the mode of goodness. Give up the mode of passion, mode of ignorance activities. You will automatically start thinking positively. So the ABCD formula that I gave, A is association. So please associate with those who think positively. Don't associate with those who are always thinking negatively. If you talk to your friends, and if your friends also says that, oh my God, yeah, it's so bad, so depressing, then it will automatically, both of you will get depressed, right? But if you go to another person who is positively thinking, you will note that his positivity brushes on you, and you will become positive. So have association of these people with positive thinking, and then all these ABCDE, reading good books, because if you, Bhagavad Gita will tell you, for example, how give up this depression, give up. There are specific verses in Bhagavad Gita that talk about that, how bad it is. Or chanting meditation makes mind very calm, and clarity in thinking gives clarity in decision making, not depression, right? Similarly, diet and environment. So I hope that is going to help you in getting out of depression.
Yes, sir. Perfectly. So we'll take one now this Excel question, and then we'll give chance to people who are raising hand and those who want to ask you questions personally. So people can raise their hand if they want to ask the questions personally. We'll take one more Excel question which is been on the link, sir. So we understand. One question is here: if we treat people in good way or innocent way, but they always disrespect us, then how to react in this situation?
Yeah, very good question. This is a practical question, right? We want to be good. We want to be good, and but people sometimes take advantage of our goodness. So a person in a mode of goodness, right, is not a naive person. He knows who is taking advantage, who is not taking advantage. So he's not a fool, right? Person in a mode of goodness he has clarity in thinking, very creative thinking. He understands when one is being exploited, whereas when one is not. So he avoids exploitation of one. So yes, there are people who take advantage of us. There may be people, right? That's again a bad infection, so to say, bad quality. Right? There are multiple ways to deal with it. A person in a mode of goodness, how he reacts with creative thinking, he protects himself. He knows, or herself for that matter, that this is going to harm me, so protect. Someone is taking credit from me, right? This person knows how to protect, right? That doesn't mean that he takes others' credit. No, but when where the credit is due, it must go. Person in a mode of goodness understands it and doesn't let anybody exploit him or her. That's very important. This person also has tolerance, right? He knows that people have infections, these bad infections, how we can stay away from them so that I don't catch these qualities. And wherever possible, if it is not harmful, tolerate it. Wherever it is harmful, protect oneself from it. So that's the way. Now, how one protects oneself is very situation dependent, depending on how the harm is being done, correct? But this person is intelligent, has clear thinking in protecting oneself.
Yeah, perfect, sir. So we have here Samran. So I will raised hand. So I will ask to start the video and at the same time.
I can see Samran, but he's mute. Can you unmute? Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Can you unmute or not? 1 second. Now I've given you the permission. Yeah.
Yes, I want to ask you a question that is like, I always compare my life to the life of the other students. I think that like I am lagging behind them and I feel like sad. So what could I do it? A lot of people have said me that do not compare your life with others. They are like, they have their own problems. You have your own problems. So what we could exactly do about it?
Yes, we should not compare. That is correct. we should do healthy comparison. I'll talk about healthy comparison and what is not healthy comparison. When we compare with others, for example, right? Either we feel that we are good, better than others, and we get superiority complex. Superiority complex
Yes.
leads to pride, and pride comes before the fall, right? That means that
Yes.
fall down is there, going to be there. Or when we compare with others, we feel that we are not better than others, we are worse than others, and then we feel inferiority complex, right? That results in depression. So
The
both
most of this,
when we do unhealthy comparison, either it leads into pride, which is dangerous, or it leads into inferiority complex, which is also dangerous, right? Therefore, this unhealthy comparison we should never do. Healthy comparison is when we get inspired by others. That's okay. If we are comparing, getting inspired to do better than us, then it is okay. You know how 100-meter sprinters, the runners, how they train themselves during training. Who do they compare with? You have any? Can you guess who do they compare with?
they can compare with other trainers,
They
other
they
people
they
training
don't
with them.
they don't compare with other competitors. They actually compare with themselves. They
Oh,
actually compare with their previous times and they want to improve their times. So in the same way, as you rightly said, everybody's life is different. Everybody has different problems. Everybody is trying to improve from their level. So all we need to do is to compare with our previous level and see how I can improve from there. And for that, if we are able to take inspiration from others, that's welcome. And our success we should define as when I'm kind of improving from my current state. That's my success. But if you compare in an unhealthy way that I described, right, it will always result in a problem. So always compare with yourself so that you understand that you are kind of moving up, you are learning something, you are kind of improving yourself, and that's a healthy way.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So second, we have Samruddhi here. She has also raised hand. So we'll ask her to start the video and unmute also. 1 second. Yeah. You can ask the question.
First of all, I want to thank you, sir, for the today's session. And my question is, which abilities or qualities we should improve in ourselves uh, to to take a good decisions and to focus on our goal?
Thank you so much. So both are very important things, right? To make good decisions and focus on our goal. The most important question is, what is the goal of my life? And when I know what goal I have, then I can make decisions so that I can progress towards that goal. Isn't that true? So if my decisions are aligned with the goal I want to achieve, then I will make progress. Otherwise, I will not make progress. So both of these things are very, very important. What is the goal of my life? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? This is a Athato Brahma Jidnasa question, right? This is a question only human being can ask. Animals cannot ask. So this is a very good question to have. These answers are elaborately described in our scriptures. What is the goal of our life? What will make us happy, right? So I would suggest that you attend our 5S sessions, 5 topics that we have. I'm not going to steal the thunder. Even if I tell you what is the goal of your life and our life, for example, you will not appreciate it unless you go through those sessions. So please go through the session. Regarding decision making, I would suggest that especially meditation will help you, because meditation increases the clarity of thinking. Once we can think very clearly, our decision making ability also improves, right? So practically speaking, on your day-to-day basis, even if you meditate for say 10 minutes during a day, right, any time during the day, 10 minutes every day, you will notice that your clarity of thinking has improved, your focus has improved, your studies, you can focus much better on studies, right? And also your decision making has improved. So if I have to tell you one thing, please do chanting or meditation. That is going to be helpful to you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Samruddhi. Sir, would you like to take more questions that are on Excels, because various questions are there?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. This question is, we understand what you're saying, sir, but the biggest problem is application. It happens, we know what is to be done, but we don't do that things. We know we should not be running blindly behind money, but then too we run behind it. What should we do?
Yes, yes, very true. So how do we implement these things in our life? This is the biggest thing, right? Very important question. So what do we do for, first of all, we should know what is good and what is not good, right? For that, we should know whatever things that we discuss, it has positive effect on the lives of people, on our life. For example, if I do these things in my life, it is going to benefit me. How do you know that? Then you must look at these people who are the examples, who have adopted these techniques and who have improved their life, right? And you can see the result of these things in their life. Then you can try these things. See, these aspects are something which you can experiment. You can take to these various techniques that I described in your life, maybe for a few days. For example, chanting meditation, you can do for a month, and you can see the effect that it has on yourself. We should be ready to experiment. That step we have to take. That is actually a quality of goodness. Quality of ignorance is procrastination. I don't want to do it. So if you are with a group of people who are trying to do the same, for example, meditation, then you will also meditate, for example, right? One example I'm taking. And then once you meditate, you can see the effect that it has on your own life. Once you see that effect, for example, the quality of goodness that is coming in you, your anger reducing, your greed reducing, your focus increasing, all these things, even within 3 months, you will notice it. And then you can yourself say, oh, wow, this is an amazing effect that it has in my life. So I want to continue with it. So when we see this, experience this in our life, then our conviction increases. But before that, before we experience, we should look at others' life. You should be among the group of people who are doing this and see the effect that has on their life. Then you will be motivated. Wow, yes, I also want to have that effect on my life. And then you get that motivation to try it. So importantly, you try to be with this group of people who are trying to do these things to get that desire to try it out. Okay, and you can contact the organizers if you want to know the group of people who are doing this, who will serve examples for you, and they will be able to assist in finding the right examples for you so that you get motivated. Thank you for that very practical question.
Sir, how to avoid unnecessary use of phone and other such illusions like daydreaming, which constantly try to seek our attention.
Yeah, that is so correct, because there are two types of distractions that we have. One is the external distraction and there is the internal distraction. External distraction means some television running or some friend coming and asking you, do you want to go for a movie or whatever, and you are trying to focus on a study. Right? These are all external distractions. We can say no to them. But the internal distractions are even more dangerous. Internal distractions are all these desire to see the messages on social media, these thoughts coming in, hey, I want to play, I want to watch this on television or internet or something like that. These internal pushings are there, which prevent us from focusing on the task at our hand, like studying, for example. These internal distractions are very, very nasty. They can distract us from our focus. How do we remove them? One thing is chanting and meditation. If you do this, your mind will become calm, and essentially these things will stop pushing you more and more. So, but one has to be consistent in that. So I would say try for a month or so, right? Try chanting, try meditation, 10 minutes for a month or so. How do you do that? If you have these questions, we answer them in this 5S session. The 5th session, the sound vibration, right? That specifically discusses this topic, how one can meditate in a most effective way. If you meditate like that, even within a month, you will see the effect of it. And that will be my suggestion for you. Thank you. To remove all the distractions.
Yeah, so we are almost at the end of this Excel questions. One last question here, it is there. How to deal with toxic and demotivating environment or members around us, family members or like that?
Well, generally, family members are our well-wishers, right? Usually, we don't find so much of toxic environments in our family. Sometimes friend circle could be toxic a little bit when someone has a lot of bad habits or something like that. And wherever possible, we should leave the toxic environment. That's a choice that you have. Okay. When you have a fear, like the way when someone has a corona, do we go near that person? We don't. Just because, not because we hate that person, just because we don't want that infection within us, right? In the same way, all this toxic environment, bad qualities, these are all infections, and we should stay away from those who have that. Not because you hate them, that's not the point, because you don't want to catch that infection, right? So staying away from toxic environment as much as possible, right? Wherever it is not possible to stay away, try to change the environment. That will be, if it is in your hands, right? Try to tell them the importance of doing these things and how it will benefit them if they take it as well. So either try to stay away, or if that is not possible, try to convince them that this is the right thing to do, right? One of the two ways you can try practically in your life. Yeah, I think your voice is not on.
Thank you very much, sir. So basically, there are some more questions, but they are related to our future sessions. That's why I didn't ask you like religious books, difference between religions, then how to read Bhagavad Gita. What is that mantra which we can meditate on, and all that things have been here. So actually, they will be answered in the future. That's why, sir, I didn't ask you this time.
I would, since you are so much curious, and one should be about these topics, it's not easy to get information on these in the right way. So this 5 years course is very, very nice for all of you. Please register for it. You will benefit. It is going to change your life. I can tell you for sure. This is the most life-changing course that you would go through. So please go through that course. 5 sessions, that's it, right? And I wish you all the best. Thank you for patiently listening to me. I love your energy and I love your enthusiasm to hear on these topics. Really appreciate. Thank you and bye.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful association. And we would like to have more and more. I hope all of you also kindly you can comment. Yes, Tiva in the comment box. Thank you for sir. Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful lecture and insightful lecture. And again, giving extra time for the doubts of the students.
So all of you are very intelligent students. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being with you. Thanks.
So there are some announcements regarding Wise app, WISE Wise app, and again some announcement. I'm just switch offing the chat box. Thank you very much for your wonderful and enthusiastic participation, all of you. I'm seeing here Anushka, Shreyas, Parth, Nidhi, all of you, boys and girls. So these are the 5 years courses will be on PDW session. Again, coming on to STW, there is a Wise app. So kindly log into that Wise app till Thursday. That is the last thing, because from next week, all the things will be going and be working on the Wise app. Okay, so if you are not there, kindly contact your basically it is very easy interface. You can do it yourself. PDF have been shared on the groups, student ID have been there, and even if you can try it yourself, and at the worst case message the admins. Second thing, the approval, if there will be approval in the class. For that, please don't message the admins that please approve over. It will be approved if you have been there, you know. And please make sure that the email which you have put the same name will be there in the certificate. So don't various emails are Avengers name are there, and different names are there. I don't want to mention it, but please don't do that. Kindly official email, put your official email over there, which can be reflected in your certificate. Okay, so if you are not registered on Wise app, kindly download that Wise app, or unfortunately we have to become unwise with you, because we will not be able to take you in further in the courses. So yeah, so thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much for your active participation. 555 students are there, and I hope you like the lecture. Kindly comment L in the comment box, and kindly subscribe our Student Welfare Club channel, because even if you are missing the lectures, all the lectures are being live streamed over there, and Python lectures are there, and previous year's lectures are also there. So your learning will not stop. That is the thing. If you are active on the channel, we are also active on the channel. So your learning will not stop over there. So you can also subscribe if you like. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. I will share the link of the channel over here only, and the same lecture is being uploaded over there. What is the difference in YouTube and you attending the lecture is, the person on the YouTube will learn the things, and you people will learn, plus you will get the certificate for the same. Okay, this is the difference. But a keen person who just want to learn can go through our YouTube lectures. Yeah, where is the chat? I'm pasting the link for this our channel also. So even if somehow you are missing the lectures, kindly go through these lectures which have been uploaded here and complete your syllabus, because there will be a grand test and at the end. So that is most important. Second thing, we'll be putting the test link of STW on the WhatsApp group, at the same time attendance link, and it will be for a specific time period. So kindly be active on the groups. So now after the session, we'll be sharing that. Is it clear to you all? Kindly put C in the comment box if it is clear. We'll be sharing the STW test link and attendance link on your group. Okay, I'm repeating it second time. We'll be sharing test link of STW and attendance link for a specific period of time. That is 5 minutes for attendance link, 15 minutes for test. Okay, don't miss it, and kindly inform this to your registered friends. You know, if that your friend is not registered, so anyways he'll give the test, he'll not get the certificate. When on the group, you please be active. After this session, we'll be putting it. Okay. And one more thing, one more fact I want to tell you. When you get into the Zoom, you get a sign in option over there. So when you sign in over there again and again, every lecture, your attendance will be marked. That system we are creating. So from next time, no such basically, we'll be more accurate in taking the attendance. And on Wise app anyways, we'll be more accurate in that. Again repeating, kindly download the Wise app, WISE Wise. Shared link has been shared on the group for Wise application. Prathamesh, you can contact personally to your admin. Yes, you can leave. Yes, you can leave. Officially, I conclude the lecture for now. You can leave the session. You can leave now. Yes. Thank you very much for active participation.